Hello my dear friends, today we are going to discuss another important topic from the last chapter of democratic politics, that is outcomes of democracy. Economic growth and the development. The previous and the which so many videos which we have been discussing about these outcomes of democracy, which we have discussed how this democracy is efficient, is it efficient, and why democracy is a better form of government we have discussed, and which all are the major outcomes of democracy which we have, how democracy is an accountable, how it is responsive, how it is legitimate, we have discussed. Here in this video, we are going to discuss a very wonderful topic, how the economic growth and the development, how the democracy is, or how economic growth and development in the democratic form of government. When we discuss the economic growth and the development in the democratic form of government, in that topic or in this topic, there are some questions are repeatedly asked. So let us have a glance on the repeatedly asked questions. The economic growth rate in the dictatorship is better than that is in democratic rule. Why is it so? Are democracies based on political and economic equalities? Explain. Evidence shows that in practice, many democracies did not fulfill the expectations of producing economic development in the country. Validate the statement with the help of a relevant example. So these all are the major questions, or repeatedly asked questions on the topic that democracy and economic growth and development. So how, let us have a glance on how this economic development in the democracy. So when we consider, or when we compare, or when we come to the point that it is economic growth and the development, if democracies are expected to produce good governments, so every democracy or democracy is expected to produce a good government. You know that you expect, I expect. So democracy means it is expecting to have a good government. Then is it not fair to expect that they would also produce development? So I am expecting, or I am accepting that it is democracy is a better form of government and it will produce the good government. So once I am believing that it will bring the good government, is it not good or is it not fair? I am thinking that they expect, or is it not fair that I am expecting that they would not also, or they would also produce a development. Simple words, we can say that it is, I am accepting democracy as a better government, so that I am expecting that democracy should produce a good development. I am expecting a terms of development from the democracy. I am expecting that democracy will be bringing development in the country. So if I am accepting democracy as a better government, it is I am expecting that at the same time I am expecting what I am expecting, that democracy produce the development. The inability of democracy to achieve higher economic development worries us. Many of the time when we compare, or when we look to the democracy, that I am worried. Why I am worried? The inability of democracy to achieve the higher economy. The inability to achieve, or democracy, I am finding that it is democracy is not able to achieve the full development. When I am finding that it is, or when I am comparing with the non-democratic form of government, I am finding that my God, this non-democratic form of government is better than democratic form of government. So the inability of democracy to achieve higher economic development worries me. I am worried. So Hitler, after he became the ruler, or once he has got the chancellorship from the Hindenburg, He had applied so many policies, he has changed the rules, and he has taken the power, and with the enabling act he himself proclaimed himself as the dictator of the country. And after that you can see that there was a tremendous growth of Germany economically, politically, socially. The Germany started to grow faster and faster and faster. When being a member or the citizen in a democratic country, I am comparing the growth of this non-democratic government. I am worried that, why I am worried that my democracy is not fulfilling my expectation of development. But this non-democratic government, I am finding that it is growing very faster and faster. It is worrying me. But you have to keep in your mind one thing. Democracy is expected to produce a good government, so that it is expected to give a development. When it is a development you are not finding, you are worried. But my dear children, you remember, in democracy, country's development is depend on certain factors. When we closely analyze the democratic form of government, the democratic government country's development is depends on some factors. So need to know what all are the factors. The democratic development, the development in the democracy, it depends on some factors such as country's population size. What is the population size? It is the first thing it is depend upon. You can see that Germany, if you are comparing the Germany with the India, Germany is just a small country in Europe, may be equal to one of the states in India. It is very smaller than the Uttar Pradesh in our country. So you consider the democracy when the development of a country or a development of a democratic country, then you have to think the population size. What is the population size? It is not a small country. At the same time, India, if you are taking in this population, it is a very vast country with a mixture of diverse population, with the culture, heritage, languages, everything is different. So Hitler was killing the people, Jewish people, and he was making only one type of people, Aryans. So he is making the favorable policies only for the Aryans, others were killed. But in democracy, we are not doing like that. We are not favor of one religion or caste or color or creed or gender. We are for everyone. We are looking for the development of everyone. It will take time. So, development in a democratic country depends on country's population size, global situation. We need to check what is going around the world. What is the situation and everything, and the economical situation. We have to cooperation from the other countries. We need to have a good cooperation with other countries. We are not having every resources with us. There are some resources which we do not have. We need to take from someone. So we need to have a good relation with other countries. Hitler is not like that. He was not having any relation with any other country. He was just fighting with other country and occupying the other country or war with other country. It is not the situation. Democracy we are following. We are not making war with anyone. We are having the relation. So we need to make the relation. We need to make the treaties with them. It will take time. Economic priorities. Then the government, the democratic form of government will give the economic priorities. What is to be done first? What is the prior thing is to be done by the government? In a dictator form of government, he may be giving economic priority. Hitler was giving economic priority. He was spending loads and loads of money for making the weapon and the war and everything. He was spending loads of money. So now in this condition, you think that we have seen that there are so many irritating activities or actions from the part of China towards our country. So all on a sudden did India decide to fight against the China or to have a war with China during this time of pandemic, and the people of the entire world is suffering with the corona COVID-19 and the economy has fallen down? Did we go? No, we have dialogue and discussion not to have any war or anything. Why? We have economic priorities are there. The government understood that it is not the time to fight. It is not the priority to fight against the China or to keep the border or to bring the border or anything. It is the time to have the fight against the coronavirus. So government is giving more concern about that. So government priority, when the government is giving certain priorities according to the priority, or the decisions are according to the priorities, you may feel that democracy development is very slow, or in a democracy development you will be not finding, or while you compare with the non-democratic form of government, you are finding that the non-democratic form of government is growing faster and faster. So you have to keep in your mind that in a democratic form of government, the development is depend on certain factors. The factors such as country's population size, global situation, cooperation from other countries, and the economic priorities. So, however, the difference in the rates of economic development between less developed countries with the dictatorship and democracy is negligible. So you are saying that it is, now you have compared, suppose that you are comparing with the dictator form of government with the democracy, that is negligible. You ignore that. You are finding little differences, that democracy is growing this much only, but non-democratic form of government is growing very faster and faster, or you find a very big gap or anything you are finding. Here theoretically we are telling that it is negligible. You can ignore that. You can ignore. Why you can ignore that? Because overall we cannot say that democracy is a guarantee of economic development. But we can expect democracy is not lag behind the dictatorship. Democracy is not the guarantee for the economic development. It is correct. It is not any guarantee that it is democracy means it is economic development pakka. It is not like that. It is not a guarantee of economic development, but we can expect democracy is not lag behind the dictator. That doesn't mean that the democratic form of government is very lagging behind the dictator form of government, very far, we are very behind. Nothing like that. They have grown very faster, but at the same time we are not lagging behind. We, the democratic form of government, with accepting certain factors, the population size, the relation with other countries, economic priorities, after fulfilling all these things or meeting all these demands, it will be growing very slowly. That means democracy will achieve the development. It may not be faster like non-democratic form of government. So that what is to be the difference you are finding in between the non-democratic and the democratic government, you ignore. It is a negligible factor. So that is the economic growth and the development when we consider with the democracy. I hope you understood. We will be meeting with the next video. Bye.